All right, let's talk about Saturn. Saturn, the black cube. Saturn and the black cube.
All right, President Trump has just signed his big, beautiful bill
I believe
into law. You saw him there.
that the rings of Saturn are where your halos come from. Your halos, angels, the rings of Saturn. And if you also know, I believe, I need to double check this, but there are 7 rings of Saturn. There's 7 heavens. You have to go through all 7 heavens before you get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? You have to get through all 7 heavens. Each ring is a heaven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Heaven. Saturn is heaven. The cube. I believe. This is what I believe. So it's an opinion, like an asshole. Everybody's got one. I'm entitled to mine. I'm just sharing it. You can take with it what you want. You can call it crazy. You can do whatever you want with it. Throw it in the trash. I don't give a fuck. But I'm just sharing. So, judge, keep your comments in the trash. Okay, where was I now? You got me sidetracked with that shit. Saturn, 7 rings of Saturn, 7 heavens. Saturn is heaven. The cube. The cube is, I believe the cube is in all our cities. You can look it up yourself. Got black cube monuments everywhere. Reason we build houses like boxes, because we're in the cube, we're under the cube. We are trapped inside the cube. I don't know if you know about, they got these new quantum computers, it's got to be run at a very cold temperature. I think they call them qubits or something like that. They got one. Anyway, it's some kind of supercomputer, and it has to be run at a very cold temperature. Okay. It has, I can't remember exactly, so I'm probably getting these numbers wrong because I didn't look it up. I'm just talking, and what comes. I think it's got, I don't know, let's say it's got 1 million different qubits in it. 1 million different qubits is 1 million different consciousness, a million different waves of thought, waves of programming, 1 million different independent fucking people. Consciousness. 1 million consciousness inside that cube. That's what we're going to use like AI, you know. It's going to have, that's how it's going to be able to think and figure and shit like that. Because you got all these consciousness, you know, you can call them a qubit or whatever. We got all these consciousness inside this machine. Each one is able to have independent problem-solving skills, you know. They're not all tied together. They're just like the cube that we are in. What they're doing is they're copying. There's people in this world that know the truth about where we come from and what we are and all these things. I believe God created an avatar. You know, Yahweh made the host. He made the host bodies. He made these host bodies. And just like in the Bible, or well, in the Gnosis, it says they lacked animation. They lacked the divine spark. You know, he made the bodies, but they just laid there. They couldn't, they wouldn't, he couldn't get them to get that soul. He couldn't embed that soul. And that's when they say God breathed life into the bodies. Now, I believe God had a quantum computer or whatever. There's probably a different name for it now, but some kind of computer like the qubit thing I'm talking about. It's a cube. It's at the, I believe it's at the South Pole, or it's at the pole of Saturn, and it spins, and that causes the damn storm at Saturn. That's why they say chaos breeds creation, because that thing spinning is fucking throwing storms and hexagonal patterns and shit into the sky, because that chaos there breeds our creation over here. And it sends off sound and frequency. And anyway, we are inside of that cube. We are the, let me get back. He builds the host, and the robots lacked animation. He couldn't get them, they just laid there. He couldn't get that divine spark of soul in them. So he breathed life in them. What I believe they're meaning by that is he hooked the host up to the cube. You know, it's got 1 million independent consciousnesses in there. And hooked the host up to the cube. And then consciousness comes from the cube tied to the host body. And then that was able to animate the body. That he made biological, self-reproducing, wireless robots. We are biological, self-reproducing, wireless robots. We are the creation of an advanced civilization that deals with sound, wireless, frequency, and genetics. And they built these bodies, and they tied them in wirelessly to this cube. That's why when you die, they say you're just the light. You know, your soul is just that white light. Light is information. Light is information. Light is the consciousness. When your soul dies, you see these ghost videos and that white light goes up. The white light is the consciousness leaving your body, leaving this avatar. The light, that is me, leaving this body, leaving this avatar. The avatar falls dead. The light goes back to its home, the cube. Then God's the programmer. God can write the program, and that's how he knows you before you're born. He can take that program, he can say, okay, I want that consciousness to go in this dog over here. And he can put it, and then that consciousness will be born into a dog, be born into a cat, be born into another human. He writes your life as a script before it is to be. That's why we live on a plan it. Plan it. They plan every single aspect of your life. You think you have free will. You think you have free will, but that is illusion. Illusion. Yeah, you say, oh, I got free will. I can choose to pick this up or not pick this up. Well, that was programmed before you were even born. They knew this conversation, me doing this conversation, would happen before you were born. They leave nothing to chance. There is no free will. Or if there is, it is not quite the way we think it is. There may be an aspect of it in there somewhere. We may have a little bit of sway room along the path, and we might can go around these curves and shit. You know, make a choice and go the long way instead of the short way, or however we get there, but we're still going to the same path. We may have a little bit of sway room. Maybe. But I don't know. But we're still going to wind up in the same place at the same time, whatever was programmed for us to wind up at. That's why when in the Bible it says your life and death is predetermined. The day you die is already written. It's already written in the code. It's already written. You are the biological robot built for whatever reason to do whatever we do for them. But the light, the soul, the spirit, thing that makes me what I am, will never die. Will never die. It will just change forms. For you are the soul, you are the light. And when you die, you will not go in a sin and leave and then all this shit. You're not going to leave. There is nowhere to leave. You can't leave. You only exist because of the computer, because of the cube, because of the divine AI, angelic intelligence. You are part of the machine. Without the machine, there is no you. Unless it's replaced with a new machine. And I think that may be what they're trying to do. But only time will tell. Thank you for listening to my rant, and have a blessed day.